Hello and welcome. This is Erin Curette from www.littlecircles.net. Thanks for joining me today to learn how to use a computer-generated background and adhere it to recycled cardboard to be used to make a quilled mosaic with. It's really easy to do and extremely inexpensive. You can download a pre-created template or background from our website at www.littlecircles.net under the free tutorials area. You can print that up at home, cut it out, adhere it to the cardboard, and be ready to quill in less than 20 minutes. So go and gather supplies, head over to the website, print out the background that you like most, get some recycled cardboard, a little glue and a paintbrush, a pair of scissors, and you're ready to create your own. Okay, to start this background process, I've already gone to the website and I've printed up a background. You can print up your own background from www.littlecircles.net. Find the download section and you should be able to download a multitude of different backgrounds for your quilled mosaic. You can print it out on cardstock. I suggest the thickest cardstock your printer can handle, or if you go to a printer, use a really thick cardstock. My printer is pretty awful and it won't take much more than about a 70 to 80 pound cover sheet, so it's pretty flimsy. If you were to print it on something much heavier, you could quill directly on top of that. You could possibly quill directly on top of this as well. I'm afraid it'll curl though, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you how to transfer it onto a recycled piece of cardboard, but you could quill directly on top of that. Just make sure that if you are to print up one of the backgrounds and do it directly on top of the cover paper or cardstock, you're going to want to trim the sides to match up with the size of frame that you want. If you were not going to use any kind of a mat, then you could cut it directly to the 5x7 size. I am going to use a mat though, but since I'm transferring this onto a piece of recycled cardboard, I'm going to just go ahead and trim it pretty much straight up around it. So I've got my ruler and I'm going to use a rotary knife to cut this out. I'm not going to do it directly, like exact, just so I have a little extra to kind of play with a bit when I attach this. Let's see. My knife is getting dull. Okay, so that's cut, not very well, but it's cut. Now I'm going to have to attach it to my recycled piece of cardboard. So let me gather my supplies and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my pre-cut recycled cardboard. I've cut it to 8x10. The picture I'm creating is going to be finished at a 5x7. I'm going to be using a mat when I go to frame this because I like to sign my work on a mat. Since I'm unable to sign the quilling itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere the printed background onto the cardboard just so I have a more solid surface. And all I'm going to do with that is paint the background with glue. I'm just using Elmer's glue and a damp paintbrush. And I find it's very helpful to pre-paint the space in which you're going to be putting it onto. As this dries a little bit while we're working on the other, they'll kind of adhere together and it just makes for a really nice surface. So I'm just going to, I'm gonna get that a little bit more wet. Just with my glue and a little water, just kind of pre-paint the cardboard. Okay, just like that, that's good enough. I'm gonna slide that over. Oops, sorry for the jiggle there. All right, and then here's my cardboard. I'm going to actually grab something to put behind it so that I don't get it all over my cutting board here. So this is just a plastic wrapped canvas board that I'm going to use. I'm going to wet my brush again, grab some more glue, and then really get this well. Make sure to get all the corners. And likewise, this glue is also going to help stiffen the paper when we attach it. And if you get a little glue on the picture itself, on the background itself, it's completely not going to matter. So don't worry about it. Let's get this whole thing painted. All right, so I've got that. Bring back my cardboard. I am going to have the dark side on the bottom, so I'm just going to kind of center that up. I'm just eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be very precise. And then I'm just going to press it down. Like that. Okay. Now that's good. You can just stop there if you want. What I like to further do is once it's on here, I like to take my paintbrush again, grab some more glue, and just kind of paint around the edges of it just to kind of seal it down. You could even paint the entire picture if you want, especially if you've noticed that you're having problems with the ink coming up. That might be a really great idea. And your quilling is going to stick really good to it because once again it's going to be glue on glue. So okay, so that's it. That's all I do. I'm going to set this aside to dry for probably 10-15 minutes and then it'll be ready to quill on. Okay, well my background is completely dry. It's ready to be quilled over right now. So please join me in my next video. Go gather your Culture Pop paper, get a quilling tool, some scissors and some glue, and we'll teach you how to make a very simple, very fun, extremely gorgeous quilled mosaic, the Retro Flowers quilled mosaic. See you there.